the song I wrote when I left Woodstock, and what happened was I was terrified. I was terrified to the point I was relatively unknown. I mean, there was like a little industry buzz about me, but I was pretty much an undiscovered person. And Peter somehow got me into this, but as it happened, he wasn't there. He was in England because we were finishing up an album that was for a movie. It was a movie called All the Right Noises, and I didn't know if I should even go and do this thing. It was like a picnic, I thought. It was called an Aquarian Exposition. 3 days of peace, love, and music. I thought, oh, that sounds nice, Be like families with picnic blankets, and there'd be lots of shopping, handmade things, and cool stuff. But then as it got closer, it was like a year earlier that I agreed that we'd do this, and I had no clue what this was going to be. And Peter stayed in England to finish the album with, the London Symphony Orchestra or something, and I went off to do Woodstock. And it wasn't called Woodstock again, it was an Aquarian Exposition. And my mother picked me up at the airport and drove me to Woodstock. And we hit some traffic. And it was a daytime. I figured, weekend traffic, maybe there's an accident or something. Anyway, as the day progressed, and I sensed that this had something to do with what I was about to be a part of. And my first instinct was, let's go back. Let's not do this. And I called somebody, no instant cell phone. I had to find a phone booth. And I called, and they, oh no, don't go to this place, go to this other place. And it said here, and we got to Bethel in a motel. And it was surrounded by media. I'm setting this scene because I want you to know what person went to Woodstock and how ill-prepared I was for this event. I had a guitar, nylon string, didn't even have, a pickup. It was a mic'd guitar. No other musician. Bo wasn't even a twinkle in. And I had no children yet. Just me and Peter. Peter was in England. I was there and my mother got stranded in the hotel because when the guy saw me at the hotel, he said, Melanie, go to the helicopter. Helicopter? What do you mean helicopter? I never went in a helicopter. And it was invented by a Polish person. It has a propeller. It's not meant to fly. It's not meant to fly. Helicopters aren't really meant to fly. They have one thing. If it goes out. So I never liked helicopters. I never did helicopter. So, but I run to the helicopter, and there's momentum behind it. There's guys, and who's she? I said, oh, that's my mother. No, Mom, sorry, Mom. Bye, Mom. And I got in a helicopter by myself. And I'm in a helicopter, and I see this stuff down there. And I asked the pilot, what is that? He said, that's people. I said, no, I mean like the funny crop. That is, the color. He said, that's people. But we're miles from where this is. How could that be people? He said, yeah. I said, oh my God. And then I see this thing is like the size of a football field. And I said, what is that? That's the stage. I'd never been on a stage bigger than a box. You know? I mean, so I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't do this. Please take me back. I want to go back. And where's my mother? And how am I going to get to her? Had one guitar, me. I land. Richie Havens was singing. He was singing Freedom, Freedom. He was in his 40th minute of Freedom, Freedom. It was, he had begun as motherless child, and as the story goes, somebody on the wings of the stage kept saying, so Richie kept like, freedom, 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 freedom. And I knew the panic, you know. I could hear the panic in the voice, and I figured I was next. And it was bright daylight, and I thought, well, you know, I'll probably, you know, people will throw tomatoes at me and I'll be dead, and that's it. So I knew my life would be over if I had to go on that stage. They led me to a little tent with a dirt floor and a box. And this is where I waited to go on. And somebody came up to me and said, "You're on next." It was gone. I threw up. And then somebody said, "Never mind." Okay. And I waited more. I waited some more. And somebody would say, "You're on next." Okay. I can do this. I can't do this. And I did this. This went on all day. I developed a deep bronchial cough. I mean, like demons were coming out of me. Deep bronchial cough. It turned out that in the upper echelon tent, where I guess the big famous people were, I didn't even notice then, but now in my mind's memory, I remember there was something over there, and I was in this little tent, and Joan Baez sent over an assistant, and she's wearing these little flower things, you know. She said, "Joan heard you coughing and thought you might like this," and she sent over a pot of hot tea with lemon. I know. And Joan Baez was like my idol. I was like, Joan Baez sent me, Melanie, this. Oh, it was such a wonderful warmth. That was my cuddly Woodstock moment. It was. And then I waited some more. And the tea was gone. And Joan Baez never came back. I just kept coughing and coughing and coughing. And then nighttime fell, and I waited, and "You're on next," and never mind, and "You're on next," and then I'd hear somebody else, and I knew it wasn't me. So I said, okay. And then when the rain started, I thought, thank you, God. Thank you. They're all gonna go home now, because it's raining, and I won't have to do this. I will go back to England and finish the sound check. I always really wanted to be a writer. I don't want to be a famous person. I don't want people to see me. I don't want to be noticed. I just want to be a writer. I want to be a writer. Please, God, thank you. It's raining. We're all going to go home now, right? We're going to go home. And then the guy came in and said, "You're on next." Only this time it was real. And right before Wavy Gravy made an announcement about his collective was passing out thousands of candles and something inspirational. I don't know what it was, but it sunk in there somewhere. And then I was led to this plank, my certain doom, of course. On the other end of this plank was going to be death. And I knew this as certain as I was so certain, and you just cannot imagine the terror that I was in. And I started to walk. As I got to the bridge, leading to the stage, I left my body. And I wasn't altered with any drug of any kind. I was a vegetarian purist at that time, and I just wouldn't even think of smoking anything or ingesting any kind of thing that would alter me in any way. I had to be who I was when I was it. And so I left my body. I watched myself go to the seat. I watched myself sit down. It was all very quiet. And I heard nothing. And I hovered over my shoulder. I could see myself sit down. And then I started to strum the guitar and I was back. But what was truly unique about my Woodstock is that I left my body in front of 500,000 people. And then I came back and 500,000 people saw me do this. They didn't know what happened, neither did I. But we experienced something very, very spiritual, because that was the first moment I knew I am not just a body, and neither are you. We are beings who have a body. And this happened in front of all those people. And all of those people, whether that had something to do with it or not, I was singing Beautiful People, which maybe 1% of that whole audience had ever heard before. And those 500,000 people granted me beingness, who I am. And it resonated. And we shared something. Both those people and I shared something that no other performer on that stage shared. So that was my Woodstock experience. I wanted you to have it real, because that's what it was. We were so close, there was no room. We bled inside each other's wounds. We all had caught the same disease, and we all sang the songs of peace. Some came to sing, some came to pray, some came to keep the dark away. Lay down, lay down, lay down. Let your light burn, smile up at the ones who stand their ground. You gotta lay down, lay down, lay it all down. Let your light burn, smile up at the ones who stand and frown. So raise the candles high, up high, 'cause if you don't stay alive against the night, Little sisters of the sun lit candles in the rain, fed the world on oats and raisins, candles in the rain. Then they lit a fire to the soul who never knew he had a friend. All men can live as brothers, I heard him say. Candles in the rain. To be there was to remember, so I'm gonna lay it down again. Gonna lay it down one more time. Gonna lay it down again. I think that men can live as brothers. Candles in the rain.
The ones who stand and tell you